Hello and welcome back to the Cataclysm. Vormithrax here with episode number 86 of our Let's Play for Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, our prison escape scenario. And we made it back to base! Yay! That by itself is a fairly good-sized miracle. I think that counts as a pretty good miracle considering the condition we were in and the negative traits that we had received after diving into those two Rat King caves and what happened on our trip south. So here we are back at base, and at the end of last episode I asked if you guys wanted to see me do the healing process, and I think from the responses I did get and from my own thinking through it that it's probably a good idea for me to go ahead and show this. We're about the worst you can possibly get for healing situations, meaning you've got this many hit locations. If either your head or your torso goes to zero, you're dead, no recovering from that. And every other location you can lose, meaning all the hit point bar was depleted, and those locations, left arm, left leg, right leg, do become broken. So that's what these symbols here mean. They're broken, disabled, incapacitated, and we have them splinted. So they're currently on the road to healing up. Now, it takes quite a bit of time for the healing process to work, and you have to be very careful that you don't allow them to take any additional damage while they're healing, because that'll reset the timer clock for the healing process. So this is pretty hard to come back from unless you're pretty well prepared and you're very careful. And I think it would be beneficial, educational, whatever, to actually see what I do or how I do this and kind of the things that I do to take precautions. So I think we're going to go ahead and just record the whole thing. Now, I can't promise it'll be all that exciting because I'm going to be avoiding fights at every possible opportunity. I'm going to be very quietly trying to hang out here at my base. We're just going to be consuming a whole bunch of eggs from my big powdered egg supply, and I'm not even sure how much crafting I'm going to do, because if I try to work on the vehicle and do welding or things like that, it's going to generate noise, which with the wander spawns turned on is going to increase the likelihood of zombies spawning in the area and then wandering in towards me. So I desperately don't want that to happen. I'm not in any particular time crunch. I can afford to go a week or so without anything happening in the game world, without any real consequences. So there may be just a bit of me just pausing, or not pausing really, but passing time. I may just stand in place and pass time for 10 hours, then sleep, then pass time again for 10 hours, then sleep, and just eat and drink and so on in between. Because there's not much I really want to do that's not going to generate a lot of noise. I could probably fiddle with my inventory and do a bunch of other little things that would push the character along, but my overriding number one concern is getting rid of these statuses. So trying to save the time, I'm not really concerned about it. If I let a game week pass, nothing really severe of consequence is going to happen in the game world. Yes, the evolution factor is going to kick in a small amount, and there will be some upgraded zombies in the game world, but by far my number one concern is getting rid of these negative consequences and then starting to do the real work. Then I can start banging around and making noise and not have to worry about these splinted body locations. So just be aware and think ahead of what the consequences are for your actions. And ideally, if I was going to micromanage my time, yeah, I would sit here and find things to craft and raise my skills and so on. But I'm just not that concerned about it. So we're pretty well set. I mean, the time that this kind of a problem occurs can make a really big difference in your survivability. If something like this happens in the first few days of the game, you're in a world of hurt. You're really, really going to have a hard time surviving this kind of situation. But with this particular character, and as far along as we are, we've got a nice clean area around us that we've been sweeping regularly, so we have almost zero zombie presence anywhere nearby, given that we don't make a bunch of noise. If I fire guns off or weld a bunch of stuff on the vehicle, the noise that's generated will cause new zombies to spawn excuse me, via the wander spawn rules. But I've got a nice, fairly clear area around me. I've got a really good pile of raw materials that I can use to do things with. I've got a quote-unquote safe place to sleep. We got protection from the elements. We've got clothing of various types we can put on and off to manage our temperature. I've got a ready-at-hand food and water supply. Actually, let me double-check my water supply. How's my water doing? I think that'll get us through. We might... I'm trying to remember. I think one of these has water? Oh, never mind. I got 400 doses of water sitting in this 100-liter drum, so it's been gathering rainwater for quite a while. So yeah, we got all the water we could possibly need. So I've got powdered eggs, 400 and some, I think, last time I looked. So that's quite a bit of eggs. So I think we may just pass a lot of time and fast forward through this healing process. That would be the safe thing to do. I just desperately want to avoid attracting any attention of any kind that would cause a zombie to hit one of these locations and reset my healing timer. Once they're back up to full, then I can start making all the noise I want, because I'll no longer be super concerned about getting tapped by a zombie in one of these positions and resetting the timer. So, here's why I'm super concerned about those locations. You can see right here we've got disabled all of these conditions. Our recovery is started on these 4 locations, and this is the big negatives that we're dealing with. So let's move through some of these things. So started recovery. This damaged limb is slowly regaining its function. And disabled, limb is damaged beyond use and may require a splint to recover. So you don't get any notifications about specific game effects here. But in order to make this stuff go away, you have to engage splints on those body locations. And that's what's causing these numbers up here. So with a splint on, in order to get rid of these negatives, we've got 90 arm encumbrance, and we're at 106 and 101 on our leg encumbrance. That is massive. So if you look over here for our movement, if I move up a space, 238 points to move up a space while walking. That is just huge. That's tremendous. If I run, we're at 119. Now that's essentially more than double what your normal rates are. So I can't run from zombies with this situation. My effectiveness in hand-to-hand fighting is going to be severely compromised, and that's why. In addition, we've got other traits that we have to be very careful of. We got a boatload of traits when we were in those rat caves, and there are other things causing additional complications and problems while we play. Notably, the far-sighted, near-sighted, which we managed to fix by not coming across. We had to go specifically find and target a location to go get bifocals. So we got that one fixed. That was my number one thing. Secondarily, we've got this solar sensitivity. So you can see here I'm wearing my cute little umbrella. That is the only thing keeping my skin from boiling off my body right now. So if I stand out in the sunshine unprotected, I take steady hit point damage to all my locations. I'm a little fuzzy on whether the damage that occurs from sun is going to also reset these timers. If it does, that makes this ridiculously difficult to deal with. So I cannot put this umbrella down, basically. I've got to use this or have this wielded in my hands permanently until I get got rid of these things. So at night I could possibly come out and do some stuff, but I'd have to have a light in order to be able to see to craft, and zombies can see that light from far away. So yet another complication in whether I'm going to try to do any crafting or any other activities. Because nighttime would be the only time I could do it in relative safety. I mean, I can use the umbrella and craft with it in my hands, but there's just so many complications to this situation, given the combination of various things that are happening, that it's very much going to be better if I just quietly, very quietly, pass the time, eat my food, go to sleep, pass the time, until these clear up. And I can't say 100% just how long it's going to take. I think it's going to take about a week. I could be wrong. There are other things that might be factoring in that could make it longer or shorter. I've got rapid metabolism, which has some healing ability right here. So you require more resources than most, but heal more rapidly as well. I don't know if that, plus this weak regeneration it mentions, has any effect on the timers. I don't code dive into the game. So I don't know how the math works out or what the formulas are for these processes, or if they have any effect with this kind of modifier. So there's just a lot of stuff going on here. Troglobite. What the heck is Troglobite? I don't remember what this one is. Sunlight makes you extremely uncomfortable, resulting in large penalties to all stats. Alright. I'm assuming that's not affecting me right now because of both the rain and my umbrella, because my stats look pretty good. But that's a stat negative. The solar sensitivity is the one that boils my skin off. It will seriously burn you. So, just very, very complicated. I really desperately don't want to watch or don't want to have these timers reset. So, what I'm going to do is, for at least the first few days, I'm just going to pass time and sleep. Eat, sleep, pass time. Eat, sleep, pass time. And we're going to see what happens. If it looks like my food supply is not going to last, because it's hard for me to guesstimate just how long my food supply will last under these circumstances. I'm a rapid metabolism carnivore, so it's really hard to guess. That 400 and some eggs may not make it through, so we'll find out in a couple of days just how deep into my food supply I'm going to go. Going out to get more food equals going out to get meat equals got to fight something. So there's always the chance that whatever I go out to fight is going to actually hit me and reset one of my timers. So, which will annoy me to no end. So I'm really, really, really hopeful that I've got enough food on hand that we can get through this. I do have Saprivore, which is going to be helpful a bit. That lets me eat rotten food and still get some nutrition out of it. So we'll see what we can do. Alright, a lot of talking, but I really wanted to kind of explain the situation, the kind of factors that I'm dealing with, and how to survive this. Frankly, I'm pretty amazed that we are still alive in any form. Given what happened to us up at these rat caves, and especially what happened on our trip south when we were blinded because we didn't have the bifocals and we couldn't see anything, I'm just amazed that we actually made it down south to that hotel, survived that fight with the horde outside the hotel, made it to the cathedral and back, and so on. Pretty amazing. So, I'm going to do everything I can to keep this guy alive. That's by far the worst situation that I've had encountered with this playthrough, and we're going to see if we can pull it through. So, we're going to play cautious, basically, is what I'm saying. So don't expect too much excitement here in the next episode, or maybe I can get through it in this episode if we get to do it just the way I'm talking about. So let's see what happens. Right now we are full. We're going to go ahead and get a drink of water. I might risk boiling up some more of the water from the drum. Because I can't wield this, I don't want to take the umbrella out of my hands. I'm going to have to shift this drum down. So we'll take that and we'll go this way with it, like so, and then like, alright, where'd you go, drum? Right there. I just need to get it close enough. I'll put it in my food pile here, and that should be good. Alright, drum to here this time, yes. Alright, so that gets my drum of water right there onto my food pile. So I think I will do this. I want to make sure I've got a few things crafted up while I've got daylight hours. I don't want to turn lights on at night because that's a good way of attracting attention from the zombies. So we're going to try to avoid that as much as possible, even though nighttime is my preferred activity time with all my rat-like traits that we've got now. With our full night vision and such, and our solar sensitivity. So we want to mostly do things at night currently until we manage to do something about that stuff. But for now, this is what we've got. So let's step in here and then go. Actually, how's our power doing? Oh, we got tons and tons of power. So power is absolutely no problem. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the tank with the water. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go food. Oops. Drinks, and I just want clean water from this one, not the water purifier. Yeah, I got free energy, so we're going to do it this way. So 20 doses from the hot plate, and fill the RV. That tank there. And we're just going to repeat that recipe. I retched, but our stomach is empty. That's fine. Fill RV, same tank. For anybody wondering, I'm pressing the minus key, which tells it to repeat your last crafting recipe. So I'm just repeating it over and over again, so I don't have to go through the craft menu to pick clean water each time. And we're just filling up the tank. Take 2 more. Alright, so this will get us to 60. We'll fill that tank. And we've got 5 left over. We're thirsty. We'll consume a couple of those. And then we will pour into a container our hydration pack. And then lastly, just throw it into that bottle. And there's another bottle right there. Alright, perfect. There we go. We got our 60 liters of clean water in the tank, so we're good there. I don't need to worry about anything else in there. Power is not going to be a problem. We've got just huge piles of power. What's already installed is more than I probably ever would use with what we're going to be doing activity-wise. And I know we've got a pile somewhere around here with a bunch more fully charged batteries because we've been swapping batteries in and out of our bubble car here, letting it act as a power generation station for us. So things are a little more complicated now with the batteries because I've updated experimentals and they changed the rules on the storage batteries where you have to have a certain strength and or a lifting tool in order to kind of install and move those around. I think I'm actually high enough strength. Yeah, we're at 19 strength. I'm pretty sure I can just strong arm them in and out wherever I need to. So I think we'll be okay. Alright, we are hungry now. What time is it? 1 o'clock. Let's see if we need to do any crafting. Let's go to the eat command. So we've got rotten bird's eggs. Luckily, like I said, we've got the saprivore trait now, so I can actually eat these. I can cook them up and eat them. So we might do that. We might cook up the bird's eggs first. But all of this stuff I can eat. So you can see here we're going to get 18 nutrition out of the cheese spread. So we'll go ahead and eat that first. Let's get rid of some of this rotten stuff. It's not going to make our guy happy, but I'm not going to do any crafting right now, really, that I'm going to need to worry about that. Alright, what else we got on our list? I'm not going to worry about those. Anything else? We've got 18 scrambled eggs already cooked up, 38 nutrition, that's awesome. I just want to look through my list here. Anything else perishable that I want? Nope. Okay. I actually don't have as much food here as I thought I did, other than my egg supply. So we are going to have to be careful. And I do have to think about how we're going to deal with this if I do have to go out and get some food. We don't have any convenient anthills nearby. We do have at least 1 or more spider basements. I don't think I've fully cleared out yet. I can't remember where. Did I note spider basements? Maybe I don't have spider basements noted. I think I might have cleared them out. Well, we'll find out. We might have to pick a vehicle and go run over some roadkill for the meat. That's a safe way for me to get meat, although it's very inefficient. I'm not sure it would be a good use of the time, but let's not worry about it. I'm going to wait till my food supply dwindles a bit before I start to worry over much about it. So let's we're just going to eat our eggs now that I've checked my food supply. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's do a quick walkabout, and then I'm going to pass some time. By walkabout, I mean I'm just going to kind of literally walk about my area, make sure I don't spot any zombies nearby. We'll check our map. We don't see any horde indicators. Real close. Everything's looking pretty clear. I do not want... Alright, safe mode on. I really, really do not want to have something just pop out at me all of a sudden and take a quick hit at me. So, everything's looking good. Let's go ahead and unload our vehicle real quick. So, I hadn't done that yet, so let's grab from here. put everything on the pavement next to me, and we're just going to unload it all. It's a pretty good sized pile. Oh yeah, I need to get that wheel on. That actually is a big priority. We need to fully repair and get this spare wheel onto our bike. I needed a jack. Where do I have a jack laying around? Find jack. That's not what I wanted. Find jack. Bottle jack. Right down there. Alright. I think it might be close enough to count. So if I go install... Alright, motorbike wheel steerable is what we want. And yep, we're in range, so tool jacking is lit up. Alright, get that installed. Awesome. We got that installed, super happy about that. Now we need to do some repairs. Our vehicle tank, one of them is leaking, or is red condition and possibly leaking. And the headlight's gone. Oh, and our armored wheel's gone too. Do I have a new armored wheel? I can't remember. Did I grab more than one? Yep, I've got one more 32-inch armored wheel. So, this might be loud, so I'm a little worried about how much noise this is making. I don't think taking that off will be a problem. Install wheel. Armored wheel steer. Nope, doesn't need to be steerable. Armored wheel. Alright, now let's do some repairs. Actually, let's turn on, we've got the tool set on. We're going to use the tool set, so I got to remember I've got that. We'll use our bionic power for repairs, sure. Get everything repaired up. Tool sets. Oh, I don't have a car headlight to replace. Alright, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. Actually, I think I've got enough vehicles nearby. I can go grab one real quick. Alright, I think that's it. Green all the way across except for the headlight. Yep, all we need is the headlight. Let's first go check to see if the ambulance down here has a headlight for us. Oh, rollerblades. Rollerblades. I'm going to have to pick up those rollerblades. I'm having so much fun in my other series playthroughs with rollerblades. I've got a new unholy glee appreciation for rollerblades, used in the right circumstances. Alright, looks like I took out the headlights, so no headlights here. Let's grab those rollerblades. And we're going to drop those up here into our clothes. Whoops, do I already have rollerblades? No. Alright. Well, they might be some in there, I don't know for sure, but we'll drop those there. I'll try to remember to get those cleaned up. They're on the top, so I'll see them visually. Go check these other vehicles real quick. How about the school bus? You got a headlight for me? No headlights there either. Alright. I know one of these vehicles nearby is going to have a headlight for me. I couldn't have pulled headlights out of everything. Man, maybe I did pull headlights out of everything. I can't remember. Headlight! Alright, how about the other one? Nope, they're both damaged, but that's fine. Grab that one, and that one for a spare. Alright, back we go. Okay, repair headlights. There we are. Alright, our vehicle is back to perfect, pristine condition. That's great. Let's next grab the rubber hose and the jerry can. Oh, no, don't. Don't do it that way. Where rucksack, where backpack. Now grab the steel jerry can. Gotta make sure I don't wield something in my hands, because that would put the umbrella away and reset my timers. That would be such a bad thing to accidentally do if that does reset those timers, and I can't take the chance. Alright, one of these has got gas. Diesel, gasoline. There we go. Not a lot, but a bit. So let's unload the gasoline into the container, into the jerry can. Then fill that tank with the gas. So we're not quite completely full, but that's plenty. That will take us a really, really long way. So, alright, so our main travel vehicle's all gassed up. That's wonderful. Let's drop the rubber hose and the jerry can back into the back of that. I'm going to throw one of the spare headlights back there as well. Drop the other one in our pile of car parts. Alright, I don't remember why. I might have this stuff sitting down here. And why does it show a cargo space on top, but I don't see a cargo space on the list? Oh, it's considered a vehicle. That's the shopping cart. That's why. Duh. Alright, brain. Let's empty that thing out. Totally forgot I had a cargo space shopping cart down here. We'll drop those into the pile with all the rest of this stuff here in a minute. Okay, very hungry. Step back inside. Let's have some scrambled eggs. That's quite a lot of scrambled eggs, but I still think we're going to be okay. Alright, I was sorting inventory. I want to get this pile to this middle space, and then I'll sort everything from there. So, here to here, everything. Alright, now I can sort to my heart's content. Let's start up here first. So, from that pile up to my guns. The CX4. Alright, I've got different piles for the weapons versus the magazines. I can't remember which weapon I'm primarily using. I need to keep a ranged weapon handy. I've got the throwing knives, which will do for the smaller zombies, but if anything larger shows up, and I'm, like I said, desperately trying to avoid taking any hits, I need to kill things at distance. So, do I have my steel spear? I'm going to go back to my steel spear for a bit. So I've got the S-stock, but we're going to make sure I grab... I want that steel spear in my inventory. That'll give me the reach attack again. The S-stock doesn't have the reach attack, so... Okay, what else? So from here to there, definitely going to unload the ammo of the various types. I think I'll keep the storm in my inventory for a moment. So let's keep that there. And... oops, mods. Mods can go there. Mossberg, switch over to there. I think that's it. Armor, spare parts, other. Yep, so now we'll go to the clothing and armor pile. That's right, I can't wear these because of mutations I've got right now. MBR vest and the MBR vest with Kevlar. What am I currently wearing? Survivor suit, scabbards, harnesses, and such. Let's get the stethoscope on the inside layer here. Survivor suit on the outside. And those I'll be taking off. So why am I not... Alright, ridiculous encumbrance, but now let's let's not wear it right now. Let's get everything sorted, and then I'll kind of figure out after the fact just how I want to armor up and weapon up. So, alright, all of this stuff will go into the pile. Any clothing items? Don't think so. Yep, a few. My spare bifocals. Sleeping bag I'm going to keep. And I'm going to keep the thermal electric outfit as... actually, no, that can go. Alright, I think that's it for things I'm going to put in those top 3 rows. So we'll back down to here, switch to that pile, and power armor, CBMs. And I don't have any new artifacts. Next up, books. Did get a few new books we brought back. Take a look at those here in a moment. Actually, let's do it now while I'm thinking about it. Don't think I'll get much use out of the CQB. And what else we got? There was one other, that family cookbook. Alright, a lot of interesting recipes out of that one. Alright, so the books are done. Next up, we'll go to tools. That's my drug and drugs, chemical stuff mostly. Alright, this is not the stuff I'm carrying, so I'm just going to dump all this stuff in there. And no chemicals in the pile, no chemicals in the pile. Okay, next up, tools. Sure, cash cards can go in there. I'm going to keep the entrenching tool in my inventory temporarily. Oops, here to here. Keep, actually those are going to stay. Actually a lot of that stuff's going to stay. Alright, next up, food. That's pretty easy since I can't drink most of this stuff, or eat most of this stuff. Alright, all sorts of raw materials and randoms. That's pretty much all of this stuff. Bunch of science ID cards and one military ID card. I like that part. Alright, space is empty. So, back over to our cart real quick. And I want to drop into here. One of the oxygen packs, one of the entrenching tools, the lantern, jumper cable, pickaxe, stove kit, tailor's kit, sleeping bag, water skin, alright, and for my personal inventory I don't need 86 aspirin on me. Okay, so I've got an M27 in a back holster, so that's a rifle. Then I've got the CX4 Storm, which is also a rifle, uses 9mm. It's only semi-auto. That's not the gun I actually need to have. So let's drop that in the pile. That is not useful for me. Grenades. There's my big old Barrett. the H&K that I was using? I think it was the H&K. Yeah, 14. That's the one I want. Alright, so we're going to keep the H&K and the steel spear, along with my throwing knives. Little zombies I think I can keep ahead of. I'll use the throwing knives on. And then steel spear as a backup. If I have to pull the steel spear or the H&K, I'm in trouble, though, because that means I have to put my umbrella down. So I really, really need to not get into fights during the daytime. So... or if I do get into a fight, I need to get into a building and out of direct sunlight. That would be the fallback. Spot the enemy, lure him into a building, switch weapons while in the building, and then kill it while I've got protection from the sun. And then try really hard to remember to put my umbrella back in my hands before I step outside. Alright, so we got the vehicle unloaded. Almost no time's passed, unfortunately. But that'll be the next episode. So we've got good progress made in getting everything organized again. I think I'm just about set here. Let's, I think I will drop all of these silly cash cards. Thought I had one big cash card laying around somewhere, but maybe I haven't converted them all. Can't remember. But I don't need them very often, so we'll get those out of my inventory. Drop to this pile, that, and the trenching tool. Alright, so we got our inventory cleared up. I think I've got just the emergency stuff that I need to make sure I'm holding on to. Let's dump off these spare packs. Still got a decent amount of carrying capacity, so we're at 12 out of 20, and that's with me carrying the rifle and the steel spear, just in case we get into trouble. So we've got ranged fire, we've got our spear for reach attack if we need it, we've got our throwing knives, which doesn't require me to put anything in my hands, so those throwing knives I think are going to be clutch. I think the last thing I want to do is grab... let's go without the roller skates for now. Yeah, alright, we're done. I'm going to go ahead and close the episode out right here. So we got a lot of organizational progress done. I was able to explain what we're going to be doing. We're tired now, which is actually good. I need to flip my time of day and my tired status. I want to sleep during the day and get stuff done at night, if possible, if I'm going to do anything. But I need to be awake and active during the nighttime where I can fight without worrying about the umbrella. So I need to try to flip the time frames. Right now it's really inconvenient. 6:30. Maybe I can get like 6 hours of sleep, then stay awake through as much of the next day as I can, sleep again, so I can try to get that time frame oriented for a nighttime living character. So we'll try to do some of that as time goes by. But that's it for this episode. Hope you're enjoying the series. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Please leave comments. It really does help with the metrics for the episodes and for the channel to draw in new subscribers and viewers. So it would be really appreciated. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye-bye.